What's good, YouTube? It's your boy in the game, Ray 70 back with another banger. Before we even get started, let me send a major shout out to my guy, SCU Productions. Sub to the channel. It's been in the stream, been active. I'm much appreciative for that. One of the things SCU Productions asked me to do was to take a good look at his team and determine what I would potentially do if I were the owner, or how to make his team improve. Let's go. One thing I saw, you have almost a million coins. So with almost a million coins, and I also saw that you had 50 of the actual green dollar coins, what dollar bucks, whatever you want to call them, what green points. You had 50 green. You had 50 points. That shows me that you're not afraid to spend money. So we're gonna try to do this without spending money, but we're gonna have to spend some of these coins that you got. So with that being said, um, I noticed that you have Keenan McCardell as your top receiver. Great choice. I love how you have Drew Brees as your quarterback, and all of your linemen have chemistries on them. Very good idea if you're a runner. If you run the ball a lot, that's great. I run the ball a lot, so that's why I do it. Try to upgrade Juju Smith-Schuster. Get someone comparable to your play style, because third receiver on this game usually has a tendency to have to play, especially if you run bunch or anything like that. Try to get you a better rated wide receiver number three as soon as possible. Go out and honestly, Keenan McCardell probably needs to be your second receiver at 98 overall. So try to get a better receiver to start. Also, Clyde Edwards-Helaire probably needs to be your second string running back. Probably needs to be your second string running back. And when I go against him in weekend league, which is rare, he's spot relief duty. He's not the guy that starts the game. Um, Here's a trick you can use as well. Your second string offensive line is all Russell Okung, I see. Um, you could actually get some offensive linemen that are not very expensive, but they can help you with your chemistries a lot. They can help you a ton with your chemistry. And you're only getting one spot of chemistry with Russell Okung in 5 different positions. So if you got 4 different other offensive linemen as your second stringers, you could really help your chemistries out. Um, Unless you run single back with 3 tight ends, I would get rid of Kyle Rudolph and upgrade that position. Jermichael Finley can be a lot better. Michael Finley can be a lot better. But I would go for the new Steven Jackson. Like, get the upgraded card. Like, you have a million coins. So between selling players and grinding, which I'm going to recommend later, you could really upgrade your team and be a major force. With your offensive line right now, I would be very leery, because you can get Leroy Glover up to a 99. And if I use defensive line rush like I used to back in the day, or back in the early parts of this game, there would be no way that your players could block them, even with post up, because they wouldn't have it. So I would consider getting my offensive line up. But the offensive line could be the last thing that you upgrade, because that's I don't know what it is about this game, but offensive line is not something that's going to actually be special. You don't have to worry about offensive line. Just get the ball out of your hands quickly, because everybody blitzing anyway. So even if you have a 99 overall offensive line, you still getting pressure because people are sending 7 or 8. That's just something to think about. Um, that's that. Let me see. Defense. Okay, Jeff Okuda needs to be upgraded like yesterday. He needs to immediately be upgraded. He's probably causing you some problems in your defensive coverages that you don't even realize as of now. He's probably getting burned, or he's just not being effective in coverage because he's a 92, and you're probably facing a lot of teams with 97, 98, 99 receivers. So I would probably get rid of him and upgrade him. Um, I would. I see that you have Sam Mills at middle linebacker. I would strongly consider upgrading that position. I would strongly consider upgrading that position. Not upgrading the position, I will upgrade the card, which means you have to grind a little more. I see that there's a 6 up top instead of a 9. You're not a 90 level yet. So upgrade that Sam Mills and get all the stuff that you can get out of him for free. Also, that Andre Johnson card, you could be using that on offense. I just thought about that. I use Andre Johnson as my second receiver. 98 overall, 98 speed, 99 XL. Great free card. Great free card. Take some time to grind, but it's free. Um, Let me guess. Well, I don't have to guess. I actually read over it earlier. You're using Honey Badger as your number one user linebacker, which is great. Honey Badger he was the meta from like August to he and Isaiah Simmons from like August, maybe October-ish, somewhere in there. But what that means is you also have Eric Weddle at 86 on the field in a lot of defensive coverages. If he's an 86 and that means he's having to cover tight ends mostly or slot receivers, that's a no go. So if you're going to use Honey Badger as your user, I would strongly upgrade that Eric Weddle and get me like a 95 plus card because he's getting torched probably. Strong possibility. Um, I like that you have one step ahead on William Jackson. I think that's one step ahead. I'm not sure. I have to look. But Eddie Jackson can be upgraded too. Eddie Jackson can be upgraded as well. Chase Young, I like how you max out him. Get some help at the Kyle Williams position. Sometimes people come out in goal line and they have just a wide variety of beef coming at you. If you have Kyle Williams at an 88, that's probably where they're going to try to run. So probably try to upgrade that position as quickly as possible. Great card with the Patrick Queen. Bruce Irvin, he's fast. He's fast, and if you're looking strictly for speed, that's great. That's great, but that'll come later. That'll come later. I noticed that you have an ability on Bruce Irvin. Honestly, there's really no reason to use linebackers on this game unless you're stopping the run or unless you're using them as a user. If Bruce Irvin is on the field, that could be problematic because that means that he's probably going to end up having to stop the run and cover. But I noticed that you didn't even have him in your specialty package, so he's not able to blitz the quarterback. So I would revisit that thought process there. While Chase Young is amazing at that 98 defensive end, he's also going to need help somewhere else because that 98 could easily be stopped. I mean, if I see Chase Young is making all of the plays, I'll just start running away from him and double teaming him. And that way he won't be able to do everything. So, but if you had somebody on the other side, which I saw that you had Lawrence Taylor, which is good, but it could become problematic if you ever tried to run a different defense. So let me put a bow on this. Upgrade Jeff Okudah. Get some defensive line help with Kyle Williams is. Get you an upgrade for Eric Weddle. Put Lurker on Sam Mills. And upgrade your Eddie Jackson. Upgrade your Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson upgrade can be the last thing done. That can be the last thing done there. All right, let's take a look at your kickers. Your punter's better than mine. Great, great. Unless you punt a lot, I take that two off of him and put it on Morton Anderson, if you can. Kick returner and punt returner. Here's a free nugget for you. Always use defensive players on your on kick return and punt return. And here's why. Let's say Keenan McCardell gets the ball and he returns it to the 40. And you want to turn around and you want to throw the ball on a bum, right? You can't. Keenan McCardell is now tired. He's yellow, which means he's going to be slower than usual, which means he's probably not going to be able to burn whoever is holding him at cornerback. So put defensive players throughout on kick return and punt return. That way, it doesn't matter if they get tired or not. You're good. You're good, period. That's something that's strongly considered there. I noticed that you have Jack Fox as your kickoff specialist. Your punter is your kicker. That's new. It's different. I haven't seen it. Alrighty. Here's the thing. On your specialist page, I see that you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire as your third down running back and your power halfback. Great in theory. However, here's the problem with it in actual practical. And here's your actual practical problem. Game scenario. You're running the ball. You're doing a great job, right? You get the third down. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is your first and second down back. Well, now it's third down and you've run the ball twice with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And your third down back is also Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which means that he won't even be able to be in the game on third down because he's tired. So I always try to have somebody different on your third down back and upgrade to Steven Jackson and put him at your power halfback. And if you upgrade him enough, he could actually be your starter. But you want to be able to spell that running back because honestly, two runs on this game, whoever is the carrier, they're tired after that. They're doing that. They're leaning over, and all that mess. So they're not any good after two carries. So you want to be able to spell relief on. Again, with Keenan McCardell, I see that you have him at slot. All right, let me tell you what happens with that. If he's your number one wide receiver and you have him as slot receiver, that means anytime you put a slot receiver on the field, it's going to automatically become Keenan McCardell. Now, unless you're making changes in the adjustments prior to, this is why upgrading that Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be extremely important. Because Keenan McCardell is going to be your slot receiver and your number two receiver will become your number one receiver, and Juju will be your number two receiver. Could be good in theory, but Juju Smith-Schuster is so lowly rated that he's probably going to be getting shut down a lot. And you want to have an offense where everybody can get open so nobody can be keyed. Here's another free nugget. If I were to play you and I saw that you had Keenan McCardell as the only offensive receiver with an ability, he wouldn't beat me. I would make you pick somebody else to beat me because I would lock him up because I know that that's where you want to go with the ball. It's a lot of information on those top three that people give away that they don't even realize. So that's one of the things. If I saw that your receiver had an ability and the rest of them didn't, he'd be my friend for the whole game. Sub linebacker, you have Honey Badger. Earlier I mentioned that if you're going to use Honey Badger as your sub linebacker, that's great, but you have to get another safety for Eric Weddle because Eric Weddle is on the field almost every play. I don't know if you were aware of it or not, but at 86, that can be a little dangerous out there because he's having to cover people like Vernon Davis, Julius Thomas, Darren Waller, Jermichael Finley, Jeremy Shockey. Like he's in trouble out there if he's going to be on the field so often. I see that you love Chase Young. You are madly in love with Chase Young, which is good. He's a great player. But let me tell you what your setup is doing here. With Chase Young as your starting rush left end, and your starting rush right end, and your second rush D tackle. Of course, he can't play all of those positions. So what I would do, I would pick one one position for him out of those three, and I would put Lawrence Taylor at the other end. Okay, and I would get another defensive tackle and put him where the defensive tackle is there. What ends up happening is you want to get pressure from both sides. You don't want it to just be Chase Young and nobody else. That's why I was mentioning earlier with Bruce Irvin. I thought he would have been a great choice to plug in here. But if you are actually using Bruce Irvin on the field, Bruce Irvin is a liability against most tight ends. He's great against stopping the run, amazing at stopping the run and getting to the quarterback because he's fast. But he would be a great choice to put as your second stringer here. Slot corner. I see that you have William Jackson. Okay, William Jackson is the only person that you have one step ahead on. With William Jackson being the only person that you have one step ahead on, that means that you're going to have Aeneas Williams and Jeff Okuda covering your number one and number two receivers. Okuda's a 92 overall. Lunch meat out here in weekend league. Like, that is not what you want to do. So, again, I would remove, unless the slot is your most problematic position, because they're one step ahead, and this is something that I just learned because I just started using one step ahead, like literally 2 days ago. I usually don't use it. But if you're going to use one step ahead, be sure to pick a man defense. And when you're using a man defense, that slot is going to be pretty much taken off of the table. Like, he's pretty much going to be gone. But in man, if everybody else is being covered in man as well, it's going to be kind of hard to keep up with slants and curls and crossers and all that kind of stuff because those cornerbacks are not very good. They're not very highly rated. I know you're sick of seeing Scary Terry, DK Metcalf, Marvin Harrison. Like, those guys are great at route running and they're fast. So having low rated cornerbacks would not be able to get it done. So that's something else to consider. Alrighty. You have brick wall, quick draw, protected, conductor, pocket, dead eye, and gunslinger on Drew Brees. I see a lot of extra stuff here. Gunslinger, pocket, dead eye. Unless you do a lot of changing, I would just use gunslinger, pocket, dead eye. Protected is good. Protected is good if you are one of those people like me that need a lot of time to allow stuff to develop. I'm just really, I got to get rid of the ball. Like, that's just my thing. But I would strongly look at if you have protected, you shouldn't be getting too much pressure because protected is supposed to help you with your offensive lineman protection. So I wouldn't necessarily have quick draw. I think I would use those APs. I would use the APs from brick wall, quick draw, and conductor to get my offense. I would put those on other people. You had your tackles have edge protector, elite, which is good. Guards have post up, which is great. Running back has reach for it. Center has El Matador. Receiver has return man. I would take that off of him immediately because, again, he doesn't need to be returning the ball. And then your tight end and wide receivers have double me. Okay, I would actually put an active ability on Waller. He can be a problem. And yeah, that'd be my first upgrade there. I put no ice on my kicker and slow meter on punter, who's a field goal kicker. I see. Okay, gave a suggestion earlier, but now that I see that your punter is your field goal kicker, leave it the way it is. Definitely leave it the way it is. On defense, cornerback and strong safety have a universal coverage. Middle linebacker has selfless. Cornerback has one step ahead. Left tackle has no outsiders. Bruce Irvin has reach elite. Linebacker also has lurker and An acrobat. Chase Young has inside stuff. All right, I'm not sure if you're maximizing your Bruce Irvin because he really not on the field that often because your rush package does not have Bruce Irvin in it, and that means that you're probably going to be stuck at one, maybe two base defenses. And if that's the case, somebody could pick you apart. You have to be able to have a variety of things. So if you're going to use Bruce Irvin in that Reach Elite, make sure Bruce Irvin is getting on the field. Put Lurker on Sam Mills, and I also noticed that a variety of different things in terms of your chemistries. If I were going to be just throwing something out there, um, be sure to have it where your chemistries are maxed out before you start trying to spread it. Like I saw that you had West Coast on some players, and then you had power run or zone run on others. Well, what happens is this: if you get everybody with West Coast, your entire team will upgrade. Do what's best for you in terms of like if you're a runner, if you run the ball the most, put power run or zone run on everybody. One of the greatest chemistries that I've used, and I've used them all, was play fake. Play fake was the best one. It helped everybody tremendously. But try to max it out first before you start splitting it off. Second thing that I would strongly suggest, do the same thing on defense. Do the same thing on defense. At the beginning of the game, I couldn't stop passing to save my life. I would look forward to people running the ball. Now it's reversed. Okay. With that in mind, I look forward to people running the ball now. I'm like, oh, come on with it. And I also look forward to him passing, but that came from me having it where I put lockdown on everybody. Initially, I had lockdown on everybody. Then I switched it. Now I have lockdown maxed out. Now I'm working on run stop. I think I have lockdown at max, and run stop is at 25 out of 40. So we're working on it. But none of that works if my second string unit is weak. So that second string team has to be extremely strong too, so you can get those chemistries up. But overall, I see that you have a really great team here. That's just a little insight from somebody who spends way too much time playing this game. But yeah, that's what I would do if I were holding 1,000,000 coins and had the ability to grind all the way to level 90 and get even more coins / more cards / a lot of other good stuff. Like it's a lot of stuff that you're leaving on the table just by not doing it. So with that in mind, be easy. Continue to put God first. Love those who love you. No further ado. Peace.